Cypress Development Corp's flagship lithium project is located just east of Albemarle's Silver Peak mine in the heart of Clayton Valley, Nevada. A 12-hole exploration drill program for lithium-enriched claystone on Cypress's 100% controlled properties is now underway. Cypress Development Corp trades on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol CYP, the Pink CYDVF, and on Frankfurt C1Z1. For more information, please visit our website, cypressdevelopmentcorp.com.
You're listening to HowStreet.com radio, available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. Welcome to HowStreet.com radio, the online source for market opinions. Here is Jim Goddard.
My guest is Ted Dixon, CEO and co-founder of InkResearch.ca. He invented the mid-cap-oriented Inc. Canadian Insider Index, which is used by the Horizons Canada Insider Index ETF, a 2017 Fund Data Grade A Award winner. His website, CanadianInsider.com. Welcome back to the show, Ted.
Well, it's great to be back, Jim.
Is this going to be a very interesting summer?
I think it's going to be a very hot summer. We posted our U.S. comments from our U.S. report on CanadianInsider.com, which your listeners can go and take a look at. It's right on the homepage, the blog section. But what we've seen in tracking U.S. insider activity is that U.S. insiders are definitely not buying this dip, and in fact are actually picking up their intensity of selling in terms of dollar amount. So while in general insider sentiment in the United States has been very calm here on the surface, when you dig a little deeper, they're taking a lot more money off the table. And guess which sector is leading the way in terms of insider profit taking, Jim?
I don't guess. I'd like to know facts.
Well, based on our data, it is the technology sector. And what we've seen, of course, in the past few weeks is, according to Reuters, record inflows of retail money into the technology sector, chasing the Facebooks and the Alphabets and the Netflixes and the Apples. And insiders are selling generally, in that sector, into the retail inflows. So you've got, on the one hand, you've got lots of euphoria amongst retail investors, and traditionally, I think there's a good case to make that retail investors tend to be late to the party, and we know from our research that insiders are often early to sell. So now we've got a very, very important multi-million-dollar question on the table, Jim, and that is, at this point, who's got it wrong? Have the insiders sold too early, or have the retail investors come in too late? And I guess we'll just have to leave it for every listener to kind of decide who's got it right and who's got it wrong at this point. But the insiders are taking a lot of money off the table, not only in technology but also in financials. And that's even more worrying because in the U.S., we're talking about here right now, financial stocks have been beaten up quite a bit. We may get a bit of a bounce here at the end of the week. There's going to be some news on the banks that might give a bit of a bounce, but the trend has been weak, and insiders have not been picking up their buying in that weak trend. What does that mean? It means insiders are signaling that risks are going higher, because usually if the risks weren't going higher and the stock price falls, insiders would buy because they would say, hey, what's going on? This is an overreaction. Stock prices are falling for no good reason. Well, when insiders are actually picking up their selling as stock prices are falling, you have to throw that assumption out of the window. It would, if anything, suggest just the opposite.
We'll have more with Ted Dixon right after the break.
Media recognition from Bloomberg, Reuters, recycling trade publications, patented process for 100% recovery of critical metals, including cobalt, lithium, nickel, manganese, aluminum. American Manganese is focused on recycling lithium-ion batteries for electric vehicles. American Manganese trades on the TSX Venture, AMY, the US, AMYZF, and Frankfurt 2AM. For more information, visit AmericanManganeseInc.com or phone me, Larry Ray, at 778-574-4444.
Hi, I'm Douglas Mason, President and CEO of Magnum Gold Corp Inc., MGI on the TSX Venture Exchange. A 2015 drill program on the LH property intersected high-grade gold, including 16.9 meters of 13.58 grams and 11 meters of 20.66 grams per ton gold. A follow-up drill program is planned to further evaluate previously identified subsurface high-grade gold mineralization. Please visit our website at magnumgoldcorp.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Ted Dixon. Ted, for all these tariffs flying around, how are Canadian commodities holding up?
Well, commodities in general are holding up relatively well against expectations. Now, we see oil kind of leading the charge here on the upside thanks to geopolitical risk, I think, out of Iran, where Trump has thrown down the gauntlet saying, don't anyone buy Iranian oil. So that's put a bit of a bid under oil. There's also bottlenecks coming out of the Permian basin in Texas. So they're having a hard time getting some of their oil to market. So oil's doing very well. On the other hand, we've just had a sell-off here in tin, which is one of the, unglamorous type of commodities that really doesn't get a lot of following, but it's a real kind of, nuts and bolts type commodity you would need in a growing economy. And it's sold off here, so that's a concern. But in general, commodities seem to be doing okay. We'll have to see how it pans out over the summer. Copper is just, as we speak, trading under $3 a pound. That's concerning. It's held up until now. I think the real interesting commodity for the Canadian space, aside from oil, is going to be gold. It's sitting here at $12.50, and I'm surprised it's got down this low, given everything that's going on. Right now, the market seems to be favoring the U.S. dollar. We will see how long that love affair lasts. I would be surprised if gold at some point doesn't pick up here, Jim. We have a good insider sentiment towards the gold stocks. There's just going to be, I think, a strong case for gold if this tariff fight continues, because it's going to start to take its toll on the U.S. economy. You're going to start, it's going to take its toll on every economy, but the U.S. economy as well, which means the Fed will have to soon change its hawkish tune into a more cautious tone, and that will put a big bucket of cold water on the heads of all the dollar bulls out there, I'm afraid, if that scenario plays out. But in the meantime, it's the gold bulls who are swimming in the cold waters right now of the market. But we'll see over the summer as things heat up, but whether the gold price can't get a bit of steam behind it.
We'll have more with Ted Dixon right after the break.
Arctic Star Exploration, operated by a team of proven mine finders, is focused on diamonds in Finland and the Northwest Territories of Canada. Work programs are underway in Finland and planned for Canada this summer. Arctic Star trades on the TSX Venture Exchange symbol ADD, on Frankfurt symbol 82A1, and the OTCQB symbol ASDZF. Please visit our website arcticstar.ca or call us at 604-689-1799.
Don't miss out. Stay informed. Receive the HowStreet.com weekly recap with thought-provoking podcasts, radio, and articles delivered to your inbox. Sign up for the HowStreet.com weekly recap on our homepage at HowStreet.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Ted Dixon. Ted, is the marijuana space red hot in Canada with legalization October 17th?
Well, we've seen a bit of a cooling off with marijuana stocks. As I doubt that it has anything to do with the heating up of the tariff wars. Instead, I think it's probably a realization that we're not going to get hard financial data from these companies in terms of the legal, the legal period where people can actually legally buy marijuana. Really now until 2019, because when you're looking at mid-October as the go date, Well, then you've got all these publicly traded companies. That's their fourth quarter. So they're not going to be able to report any meaningful numbers on legalization until you're talking, February of 2019. And even then, it's only going to be for half a quarter. So I think there's a bit of maybe fatigue going on in terms of, show me the money. When is this going to actually start to happen? But on the other side of the coin too, I mean, we've seen one major company, Canopy Growth, fail to meet some expectations already in terms of profitability. So I think there's a little bit of a reality check going on in terms of assumptions with the space, and that's going to hold it back. So we're in a bit of a treading water period, I think, for the marijuana space. And again, this is something we've talked about, and I know some of your other people you've had on your show have talked about. Really, it's going to come down to stock selection, management, who's going to be able to really capitalize on this growth space, because it's going to be a huge growth space. I don't think there's any doubt about it. And there's lots of opportunity, but there's been a lot of good news already priced into these stocks. Now, which managements are going to be able to deliver, and which managements are going to be able to take advantage of the weak managements, and take over companies, on good terms, right? So that we don't see a lot of silly M&A, but we see some smart M&A, for the winners, and we're going to have to pay attention now to see, which managers are able to make the transition from the medical marijuana legal framework to the recreational framework. It's a big leap coming, but we have to wait until 2019 to find out who's winning the race.
The BC government came out with its money laundering report. Did you see any smoking guns that would indicate that it was one of the reasons why we had a overblown real estate market?
Well, I think they're going to be turning their attention to real estate next. It was almost like this is the first chapter or first volume of their money laundering initiative. The report that was released this week really focused on casinos. It didn't really lay any blame. I mean, if you read between the lines, BC Lottery Corporation, seems to take a lot of the blame for it, but no one individual gets blamed. There haven't, it almost reminds me, Jim, of the financial crisis, right? I mean, we had this great financial crisis in 2008, 2009. No one went to jail for it. No one was held responsible for it. There were, no one got, was fingered for it. It was just, you saw a bunch of fines and a bunch of deals cut. It's the same here. We've got, no one's really being able to be held responsible for what went on. Basically the report said it was a poor regulation, which is true, and, lax regulation, but, no one's responsible. Yes, we've had a few gamblers, one or two have been arrested, and you'll probably still see some more. But in terms of the architects behind this, I mean, it was a political document, essentially trying to hold the previous government accountable for what went on. And, from that perspective, there wasn't really anything new there. I mean, it basically brought everything together that we already knew about. What we've got are some regulations now, recommendations for regulations. It'll cut back, I think, the casino revenues for some of these casinos. I think that's the most significant element of that report. So, will it impact some casino stocks? Well, yes and no, maybe. Depends how well they've diversified. It looks like they're going to be going to more like an Ontario model in terms of the regulations, and so we'll have to see how it plays out. It will have a probably dampening effect on the revenue for the province. We'll have to see how it plays out for these casino companies as well. But certainly the go-go days should be over in terms of casino cash moving into the doors, and we'll see what happens now in the real estate sector, which will be the next target of the provincial government's investigations.
Ted, any thoughts about what we should be doing to gird our financial loins for Canada Day?
Well, in terms of Canada Day, I mean, I think we're going to have to just be thankful that we've had a rebound here in the Canadian market. But the summer is going to be a big challenge, and we're just going to have to be alert here. You know, it is a big deal that's happening on Canada Day in that we're bringing putting in the tariffs on a lot of U.S. imports. That's going to hurt Canadian businesses. We're going to see shortly after Canada Day, I believe the Europeans and the Chinese are going to retaliate against the U.S. So, boy, July is going to be a big month, and you know, I'm hoping that what we wrote on Canadian Insider. I hope we're all wrong about that. I hope everything kind of cools off, and nothing to see here. Move along, everything will be calm. I really hope that's how it plays out, but I think there's a lot of complacency that nothing could go wrong. That that Trump's going to pull everything back. That he's just doing this to cut some deals. Well, yeah, these aren't real estate deals, though. Unfortunately, he's set off a tariff war with just about every country of consequence in the world. It's not going to be that easy to kind of dial that back. But let's hope it is. Let's hope I'm wrong on that. And that would certainly be. I'd be certainly willing to eat a lot of humble pie if we're able to kind of get things back on the rails here over the summer. That would just be fantastic.
Ted, have a great Canada Day.
Well, you too, and all your listeners, happy Canada Day, happy Dominion Day, and to your American listeners, happy 4th of July, and let's all hope we have a safe and great summer ahead in terms of our family and vacation plans.
My guest has been Ted Dixon, CEO and co-founder of InkResearch.ca, his website, CanadianInsider.com. I'm Jim Goddard. Thanks for listening.
Comments made on HowStreet.com radio are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any matter whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. HowStreet.com radio is a production of HowStreet Media Incorporated.